What's good? Welcome into the OnlyBets Sports Podcast alongside Stern Best, Drew DeLucci. I'm the Prince of Picks. Got a great show lined up for you guys today. Happy round 2 of the World Cup day as we start the second round of the group stage phase in the FIFA World Cup. So we're sure to give you some best bets, looks, and angles for that. Of course, we got the WNBA in action tonight. Just one game, but it's a rivalry game here between the Fever and the Dream. So definitely going to have a play for that. We got the PGA Tour in action kicking off here today as well this morning. The PGA Open Championship. So we'll see how that goes here and see if we get some more plays here throughout the weekend here we can give you for our main man Brian to come on and give us some plays, extra plays here. He gave us some plays yesterday, and we'll see how that works out. Of course, we got Major League Baseball in action as well. So we got some early day games here, pitchers starting off here pretty soon. So we'll see if we can get some action into that as well. With that being said, let me go ahead and bring in Mr. Mosh. Good morning, bro. What's going on? How you doing?
Oh, we're doing well. A little bit rainy today, not as warm, but it is humid. So here, games on the East Coast might actually have really good, home run weather. I think, I'm liking a little bit of overs today. Also, watching this golf tournament, it is fun.
Yeah, I want to get eyes on it. Yeah, I got to get eyes on it. I like those kind of golf tournaments where it's not too easy, right? I think it values getting lower scores is right more valuable in these difficult courses. I got to get some eyes on that here soon, probably after we get off here.
Honestly, just hitting par is valuable in these type of courses. But yeah, let's recap how we did yesterday. I went another 1-0. Very happy about that. I mean, we're doing quite all right. We're doing quite all right. Mets first 3 money line cashes, no problem. How about you, Prince? How did you do yesterday?
Yeah, not so good for me. It was a bit of a rough day overall in terms of the show picks. So not going to go through all of it, but we definitely had a losing day. We got burned. We had the Connecticut Sun under 80.5. They finished with 81. We had some last minute goals in the World Cup that really kind of screwed us over. We had Panama on the double chance. Ghana scored in the last minute of the game. We lost that one. So we kind of got burned here late in games by just 1 goal, 1 point here and there. So we were close, but unfortunately, we were on the wrong side of it here. So it happens. We'll chalk it up and we'll move on.
Well, you still went 2-1 in the WNBA. Is that correct?
You're actually I went 1 and 2 because I missed on the Connecticut Sun under 80.5. Like I said, they hit 81. Then I had the Portland Seattle under 161.5, and that went over as well. But we did hit on a 2-pick parlay. We had the Aces on the money line, and I believe it was the Lynx on the money line. Oh no, the Valkyrie. It was the Aces and the Valkyrie on the money line.
I will say I am a little less familiar with WNBA teams' actual names, so I always have on my browser up of like WNBA Aces, and then it'll tell me the name, and then I'll go bet on it.
That's smart.
Hey, plus 133 is nothing. No small thing. Well done. All right, let's get into it today. Prince, I'm going to hand it off to you. Where do you want to go first?
Today might be a little bit of a shorter show, guys. Just give you guys a little bit of a peek behind the scenes here. I do have a hard out at 12 p.m. Eastern, so we'll try to get this in here as best as we can. But let's start up in baseball. Does that sound good?
Hey, there's nowhere else I'd rather be.
I figured you'd be all right with that.
All right, let me just go right into my pick then. It's a difficult slate today. There's not that many games. A lot of tight games, and we're closing in at the end of series where you don't necessarily know how teams are going to respond. So I do have a few picks on my premium Substack channel here, but I'm going to go with the Yankees -1.5. I got this at plus 140 on MGM this morning. I think a lot of people last night, I think a lot of people are waiting for the Yankees to have their midsummer slump or beginning of the summer slump with the absence of Judge, but this team has been figuring it out. They have scored 5+ runs in 7 of their last 9 games, covering the -1.5 spread in 6 of those said games. Ever since that series with Boston, Yankees have been on fire. Now, they're facing Sean Burke, whose metrics aren't terrible here on the White Sox, but he does have a lower whiff to strikeout rate, which is really the Yankees' weakness. So when I see a pitcher who has good barrel rate, good hard hit rate, good general metrics, but somehow always gives up a few runs every single game, that's exactly the type of pitcher that the Yankees can absolutely smash. In his last 2 games, he only went 4 innings each while giving up 7 runs across them both, which fits the trend of him giving up multiple runs in 10 of his 14 games this season. Now, for the Yankees side, I don't really love backing Ryan Weathers all that much. He does have a very horrifying 12% barrel rate, but what he does have is a 26.5% strikeout rate, which matches up very well against the White Sox, who rank 27th in not striking out. I say not striking out, it's striking out. I don't really know. Someone will tell me what the proper way to say that is eventually. Anyway, I like positive regression here for Weathers. Now, positive regression is extreme, coming from him giving up 5+ runs in each of his last 3 games. But if you look at the trends overall this season, he has allowed 2 or less runs in 7 of his 13 games this season. He pitches much better at home with a home ERA of 3.80. And again, I think the Yankees are on such a roll, and the White Sox bullpen is stretched to its limit after going against an exhausting long series against the Dodgers, and now going against a long, exhausting series against the Yankees. I don't see their bullpen being able to keep up. So I'm going to go with the Yankees plus 140. I think both teams score. I think the over is in play as well, but I'm going to trust the Yankees bats, who have been on fire the last few weeks. Yeah, any thoughts on that play, man?
Yeah, it's interesting you're on the White Sox Yankees game because that's actually part of my 2 pick parlay here for my team total parlay of the day. I guess I'll just go and get into it right now. And I'm curious what your thoughts are. So hopefully the White Sox bats are alive here. I know you're fading their pitching staff here, but I'm on the White Sox team total over 2.5. The reason for that being is I think the weather conditions are really favorable for a lot of runs here. You got strong winds blowing out in Yankee Stadium here, so I'm hoping that the Yankees can get over 2.5. We're going to parlay that with the Blue Jays over 2.5. The Blue Jays, of course, taking on the Red Sox. Again, strong winds blowing out in Boston as well. We're looking at the pitching staffs here. I think Toronto should be in line here for a favorable matchup against Boston, who's been so-so in pitching. Hitting, Toronto is also somewhat mediocre right now. So look, it's a light slate. I had a hard time finding a play that I really liked, but this was the best thing I could come up with to keep the team total under 2.5. I like to play 2.5s rather than 3.5s. 3.5s I find a little bit less success with. So we'll see what happens here. But give me the Blue Jays, White Sox over 2.5 minus 150.
Well, I like your Blue Jays play. This Red Sox team is not good. I mean, we had so many hopes. And when I say we, I mean the rest of the league, not me, because I'm a Yankee fan. But the Red Sox were supposed to be good, and they're not good right now. They're not hitting. Their pitching staff isn't really keeping it up. The Blue Jays have dominated this series, and I do expect them to continue dominating. I also hope that you lose the White Sox bet, only because I'm rooting for the Yankees. But I honestly, I do like the over, like I said, and I think both teams score at least 2 or 3 runs. That's not a bad look in the slightest. This White Sox team is not the White Sox team of old. You can take that to the
Yeah,
bank. I think you.
yeah we can both hit on that, right? I mean, the Yankees could win by 2 runs, and the White Sox could get 3. Yankees could get more than what would that be, 5, 6 or more?
Yeah, let me check my model here. I have the Yankees. Wait, wrong model. Sorry. I have the Yankees scoring 6.5 runs, and I have Chicago scoring nearly 4 runs. So yeah, definitely in play. Drew, welcome in, buddy. You cashed that Shohei Ohtani over 17.5 outs yesterday, right?
Yeah, I went 2-0. I cashed the 7 in the house. It was a little sketchy.
A
Once it hit
little.
to the 5th inning, I was
With
worried.
bases loaded.
I was worried because he gave up like 4 runs in the 4th inning, and then he had a strong 6. But respect to Dave Roberts for letting him go back into the 6th inning after giving up 4 runs. I'm sure because Shohei is one of those guys, by the way, where he's not going to like discount the manager ever. Because I remember one time Dave Roberts came up to him in like the 6th inning to walk in the mound, and like Shohei was like, "Oh, here's the ball," and he was like, "No, no, you're staying in. I just want them to fix the like the mound for you because it was like wet." So he's not one of those guys I was going to argue, but I'm glad Dave Roberts gave him the green light. And then I know I was a little late to the recap, but it looks like England won 4-2, so that was pretty good.
Yeah, well done, sir. Indeed. What do you got for us in the MLB slate today?
Yeah, relatively small slate. I didn't like the more well-known pitchers didn't really see much value in their. I would say like much value in their like outs plays, and there's some that are missing. I'll go with an unknown who's actually been doing pretty well. But I'm gonna go with the opposite 'cause I think the opposite is good odds. But Gage Jump for the Athletics. If you haven't heard of him, he's a rookie. This is his first year.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
has incredible underlying
yeah.
metrics. I mean, I'm very mixed. I almost picked on him today and I couldn't get a good read, so I'm off the game. But yes, I very much am interested in seeing how he pitches today.
Yeah, yeah. When it comes to him, I like his under 15.5 outs at -110. I think that's good value. It's 2-4. This season, no, it's 2-2. I mean, I believe this season, he's had at least exactly 5 innings pitched. He's like 5 innings pitched, 7 innings pitched, 6.2. But the reason I'm saying this, the Angels have at least I think scored at least 3 or more runs in like 9 out of their last 10 games. They're playing at a very favorable hitting ballpark and really good weather conditions, and they're definitely a team that can they're a team that can explode on offense. And I think when we get a pitcher, especially a rookie, as we see, because last game, if you look at it alone, I think he pitched 5 innings, and I think he only had like 70 something pitches or something like that, and they still like took him out. So if I can get a rookie pitcher ever at 15.5 for close to even money, I usually want to take it for the under.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. This seemed like a large number. He also doesn't. If you're looking back, he hasn't really has he reached this number once this year yet?
Has he reached like 100? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
has he reached 5 full innings? I don't think
Yeah,
so. Let me
yes.
double check.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
he has.
yeah. So he's pitched 5 innings twice, and then he's had 7 innings pitched and 6.2 innings pitched.
Okay.
So it's like sandwiched in
Yeah,
between. It's been like 5, 7, 6.2, 5. But the
yeah.
ones where he pitched like 7 innings, he was like very efficient. But like his last game, I think he only pitched 5 innings, only had like 70 to 80 pitches, and they took him out. But he gave up like
So
3 runs.
so when I was looking at this, I think a lot of people are going to be jumping all over the Athletics here, but
No pun
I
intended.
actually like the Angels here. I actually like the Angels here in the first 5. The first thing that jumps out to me for jumps stats is the low whiff rate to a low strikeout rate, which is really the Angels' biggest enemy. The Angels could hit. Just because he has a really good barrel rate and a really good hard hit rate doesn't mean that the Angels won't be able to touch him. Um, I kind of am on the Angels side here, just a lean, not an official play, but if you guys want, just put $1 to track on it. I think my leans have done pretty well in this show so far, so definitely interested in fading jump, and I think that's a smart move.
Also, one
Any
more
other plays?
thing that I'll mention, especially in that park, is it's going to be like 8. So I had the weather right here written down: 82 degrees, 42% humidity, which is crazy for Sacramento. And then it's going to be 13 miles per hour blowing dead center field.
Yeah, that's something to keep in mind as well. That's Sacramento is, if you guys aren't familiar, and correct me if I'm wrong, a minor league stadium.
It's the Giants, I think, AA minor league stadium. I think they're AA or
Yeah,
AAA. I think it's one of them.
I think it's
Yeah,
triple
I think
A,
it's
but I'm not
AAA. It's
100%
funny when
sure.
Bryce Eldridge went there. They were talking about when he was playing at the A's, right? They're like, they were saying like Bryce Eldridge was just playing here literally a couple months ago.
Yeah, so something to keep in mind, last year, this was the #1 hitting stadium in all of baseball, including Coors. So it was almost neck and neck with Tampa Bay's temporary stadium, which was also a minor league stadium. So these minor league stadiums are not as big. And if you have weather, especially out there in Sacramento, the ball can really start flying. There's a reason why Nick Kurtz is a monster. Besides the fact that he's just a monster, but he also gets to hit in insane hitting conditions. I'm very excited
And
to see
short
what happens in
porches
Las
and
Vegas.
AAA stadiums.
Um, there was something like 20 something runs scored in the first game or two of the Las Vegas games this year in the new stadium that's not totally built yet. Anyway, all right. Prince, Drew, any last thoughts on the MLB before we move on?
Nope.
Prince?
Nothing for me.
All right, let's go to World Cup. Very excited for this. We've had some banger of matches. Unfortunate loss last night with it was Panama, right? No, it wasn't Panama. Who was playing last night? We were both betting on Uzbekistan. Oh my gosh. They
Ugh.
literally should have I think they should have won that. I think they could have tied that. The fact that they lost by 2 goals was an abomination of just, I guess, how it played out. They really should have locked down that defense. They got scored on in the final minute of the game. But anyway, what do we got for today?
Yeah, they were right there. It's unfortunate. I mean, I've been telling everybody here. I feel like I'm screaming from the rooftops here. I'm the only one who's on Uzbekistan, and I really think this team's underrated. I thought they showed it last night against Colombia. And I mean, that was a pro-Colombian crowd, of course, probably like 98%. I think they had like a very small little quadrant of the stadium for like maybe like 20 Uzbekistan fans, and the rest of them were just all yellow jerseys, all Colombian fans. So shout out to the Uzbeks. They fought hard. They were close. They had some chances to tie it up, but unfortunately, they just didn't get it done. So it happens. We'll see what happens in the next 2 games. But looking at tomorrow's slate, because remember, guys, we give our plays 24 hours in advance. So for today's plays, you're going to have to listen to yesterday's podcast. But looking at the tomorrow slate here for the World Cup, I've got a couple plays here that we'll be covering on the show. The rest of the plays you guys can find, as always, over on my X profile at Prince of Extended, the pin post on that profile. Join the VIP channel. That will give you access to each and every one of my World Cup plays, including live plays delivered to you in real time directly to your phone. But looking at tomorrow's slate here for the show, first up, we're going to look at the 8:30 p.m. Eastern kickoff between Brazil and Haiti. Looking at the first matchups here in group stage for these 2 teams. Brazil, of course, coming off a 1-1 draw with Morocco. Haiti coming off of a 1-0 loss to Scotland. I think it's all said and done for Haiti. Everyone's expecting them to be bottom of the group here. I think that does happen. I don't think they pick up any points here against either Brazil or Morocco. So I think you could pretty much cross off Haiti in terms of chances to advance here. But what I'm looking at is a lot of goals in this game. I'm going to take the over 3.5 goals here at -110. I think we're likely to see a ton of goals for a couple reasons. One, Haiti is just not very good defensively. Scotland was not able to take advantage of that. Scotland is a team that actually struggles very much so offensively. They struggle to create chances and they struggle to finish chances. So the fact that they only scored 1 goal against Haiti, I think that's more of an indictment on Scotland offensively than it is on Haiti defensively. So I expect the Brazilians here to really put it on this Haiti team offensively. Not to mention, this game against Haiti is really a goal differential game, both for Brazil and Morocco when they play Haiti. So Brazil playing Haiti, Morocco playing Haiti, both of those teams are going to look to put in a lot of goals against Haiti. This is going to likely determine who finishes first in the group between Brazil and Morocco. So I think Brazil's fully incentivized here to run up the score against Haiti. But they could also get scored on as well. Their defense is pretty shaky. I could see Haiti putting one in the back of the net. So if you want to play both teams to score, I wouldn't hate it. But I don't want to rely on Haiti to score in this situation. Just give me over 3.5 goals, and we're going to take that at -110. And then looking at another game here, of course, the big one here, the one that we're all interested in, 3 p.m. Eastern kickoff. The United States taking on Australia. Of course, both of these teams coming off of wins, surprising wins, I would say. U.S. off their 4-1 win against Paraguay. Australia shocking Turkey with a 2-0 win over them. So these 2 teams are tied in first place in the group stage right now. I went back and forth on this, but what I landed on here, I'm just going to take both teams to score at +100. I just cannot trust this U.S. defense, not against anybody. They cannot keep clean sheets. It doesn't matter who they're playing against. And although Australia is likely to set up in a low block, I think they're going to be very difficult to beat, just like Turkey. Turkey had almost 30 shots, I think, but they couldn't get it in the back. And I think U.S. is going to have more success than Turkey because philosophically, strategically, U.S. Is going to be able to take advantage of some things that Turkey did not do. So I think U.S. will likely score goals against Australia, but I could definitely see Australia scoring on a counterattack. They have some fast, elite forwards, and Iran Kunda and Traore at the top, blazing speed, and I think those guys are going to really cause some problems for the United States back line. So I could definitely see Australia scoring in this one. You got to give the edge to U.S. here, probably in terms of if you're looking at a side. But I don't want to play a side in this one. I like the price good enough on the both teams to score here. Getting plus money, +100 for a team that concedes pretty regularly. So give me U.S. Australia, both teams to score at +100.
I see extreme value on both teams to score in Australia and USA. I'm putting extra half a unit on this. I have this cashing 65% of the time. Absolutely love it. Like this might be one of my favorite plays of the tournament so far.
I love
Yeah,
it
I mean they
too.
can't. They can't keep clean sheets. I mean, it doesn't matter who they play. They just our weakness as they are
That
as
is so
an
true.
American fan, right? We just as I say as an American fan, we our defense is by far our weak spot, and is a really weak spot. And when you're talking about an elite attacking duo like Australia has, and people are sleeping on this Australian duo up front. People don't really know much about these guys. These guys have absolute elite track and field speed. So I think that alone. You're talking about Tim Ream in the back. I think Tim Ream's going to start for us in the back. I hope to God he does not get singled out against one of these elite forwards. Oh my God, that's just going to look it's going to look really bad on TV there. But yeah, you just at this point with the way Pochettino plays, very aggressive attacking mindset. You just can't trust the U.S. to keep a clean sheet.
Absolutely love it. Drew, any plays in World Cup today before we get to the WNBA?
Yeah, I have a play for World Cup today, and you guys will be proud of me. 2 days in a row, I have a World Cup play where I actually did my research. So,
Good job. Hey, let's go. Let's do it.
so I'm going to use
You
fancy
shouldn't add.
analytics.
Sorry, go on.
Oh yeah. So I like, and I'm gonna use. I know it's high odds, -180, but I'm gonna use my DK. Cup qualifier thing where if they draw, you get your money back. But a Switzerland three-way money line, -180 against the Dragons, Bosnia and Herzegovina. So Switzerland against Qatar had like expected goal of 3.28 and hit 26 shots against Qatar. Of course, it was 1-1. But if you look at Bosnia's last game, they conceded 30 shots in their 1-1 draw with Canada. And overall, you like something I read here is Brill and Bello fired Switzerland ahead from the penalty spot. But the 29-year-old looked all of that see in front of goal. And that is necessarily a worry as well. But at the current odds, I think Switzerland looks like great value here based off of the Dragons' like defense and allowing a lot of shots on goals. What we've seen for them against Canada as well, and Switzerland's ability to get shots. And I think the one against Qatar, they missed, as you guys know, they missed a lot of opportunities to where they were attacking constantly and they were just missing shots that were, some of the shots were open, some was good defense by Qatar. But yeah.
No, Drew, I think that's a really sharp play. I like that a lot. I think you have two teams here that overperform and underperform. I think Bosnia by far overperformed in terms of what the end result was. Because if anyone who watched that game, I mean, Canada had every chance to score 3, 4, 5 goals. I mean, Canada just
Yeah.
really struggled to finish their chances, but they had a plethora of chances. And you look at Switzerland, absolutely underperformed. How many chances they had and they could not score the goals either. So you're looking at a Switzerland team that underperformed, a Bosnian team that overperformed. I absolutely think Switzerland is the better team in this side, and I could definitely see them winning this by a margin here. Honestly, all they got to do is just finish their chances, and I think they're going to have a ton more chances than Bosnia. So I really like that play a lot.
Yeah, because I
And
figured even at -180, I think that's like honestly to me, that was the best one I could use my cup no draw, even at -180, because I was looking at the other ones and I couldn't be confident for the ones today, to use that on, if that makes sense. So yeah.
I like it. I will tell you guys real quick as we're got like 2 minutes here to kick off, so but
Yeah.
might be too late. I used it on South Africa
Oh,
myself
okay,
here.
awesome.
I used it on South Africa, yeah. So we'll see.
full disclosure here, I am on South Africa as well. I am playing Switzerland now separately, 5 units on the money line at -180 over on DK. I think this is phenomenal value.
Let's
I see
go.
them winning by at least 1 or 2 goals. I do agree with the South Africa pick as well. I'm personally on. Oh no, I am on it because of you. Both teams to score in that one as well. Sorry for giving away the play, but it's
No,
all
that's
for those
fine.
live
Yeah,
listeners.
yeah. No, it's okay. Yeah, I just wanted people to tune in each day. But yeah, no, I mean, we gave it out yesterday in the show. Yeah, we're on both teams to score today between Czechia and South Africa. And while we're at it, we're also on Canada on the money line and under 3.5 goals. So there you go. There's our 2 plays from yesterday that we gave out on the show for today.
I will say Switzerland money line is probably my favorite of all of these plays, not including the USA, Australia, both teams to score. That really is my favorite play. But today I
Let's
really
go. I'm
do
happy to
find
say that.
tons of value on Switzerland. So thanks, Drew. That's a awesome find. All right, Prince, let's get to the WNBA here. I'm looking for a good bounce back. Where are we going? I know that we have an amazing matchup tonight, probably the rivalry of the century in the WNBA. please break it down. Give us a best bet in this game.
Yeah, so to your point, we only have one game tonight. It is the main rivalry here in the W, of course, the Atlanta Dream taking on the Indiana Fever. Angel Reese taking on Caitlin Clark. This is the marquee matchup of the league right now, and so it's the only game on tonight. National coverage here. Everyone is going to be tuned into this one. Whoever watches the W, and usually when these two teams play, both of their stars show out. So I'm looking at Caitlin Clark, 18 plus points. We're going to parlay that with Angel Reese, 10 plus rebounds. This hit the last time that they played earlier this season. We're looking at Caitlin Clark. She's starting to bounce back and get into some good form here after dealing with a little bit of back injuries early in the season. So she's starting to come along here. And of course, Angel Reese, she's just been a monster on the rebounds. I know sometimes we like to call them me bounds because they are a lot of those, but it is what it is. She's racking up the stats one way or another, and the bet catches either way. So it really doesn't matter to me how she gets them, but she's been absolutely crushing the rebounds here. So give me Angel Reese, 10 plus rebounds, Caitlin Clark, 18 plus points in the marquee matchup, national TV coverage here. The only game in town, so actually in the league. We'll parlay that together. And if you use your DK boost, there's a boost on DK, you can get it at minus 104. Otherwise, it's going to be around minus 125.
Yeah, I found this, I think, at minus 116. Let me double check. Without the boost on DK this morning, I am seeing minus 115. So I'm just taking it straight up. I put a little bit extra on that as well because you are on fire with these WNBA picks. Not even close, man. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. I know you have a hard out right now. Is there anything else that you want to get to, Prince, before me and Drew take on the rest of the show?
No, that's good answer for me, guys. So yeah, appreciate you guys. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a great show, boys.
Thank you, good sir. I appreciate you, and I will recap your best bets at the end of the show. I'm about to sneeze. All right, Drew.
Bless you.
What what else do we got today? Anything that caught your eye, or are we just going to go with the question of the day?
Nothing that caught my eye. Oh, something I noticed yesterday is like when I was watching the Giants game. Like there's of course rules that people learn as it goes, but I saw the umps. I've always been an advocate of specking ups because I couldn't call balls and strikes, and I think most people couldn't. Like if you just like look how fast these like baseballs go and they go over the plate and stuff, it's very hard. And when they're wrong in ABS, usually it's like the less than 1% where it's like egregious. But there was egregious call that was missed in the Giants game. You should look it up to where one of our hitters, Eric Haas, he had a curveball. There's a curveball. You obviously know it's not intentional. It's a curveball that was like going like straight towards his head as one that didn't break. And then he was able to like duck. And when he was ducking, the helmet was like partially going off his head. It's like halfway between his head, halfway in the air, and the ball grazed the helmet, right? And then Tony Vitello challenged it, right? And then the umps in New York told the umps, basically at the stadium, like what the call was. And then the umps come on and say, oh, because the ball did hit the helmet because the helmet wasn't on the batter, it's not a hit by pitch. But I even just the role for that is if a batter is trying to avoid, right, a ball, right, that's about to hit him, any part of the equipment is a part of him. But if they can't intentionally throw it, but if your helmet goes up in the air because you're trying to avoid getting hit, then if the ball hits that by any means or anything, right, then it's a hit by pitch. So I just thought it was crazy that the umps missed such a call like that when we see stuff that like even I knew. So those kind of stuff kind of worries me a little bit.
Yeah, that's a little wild. Gotta say, I'll have to review the play.
It's like, what do you want him to do? Like, you want him to get hit in the head with the curveball?
Yeah,
Like, that still hurts. It's still going like 80 miles per hour,
yeah, I hear that. Definitely hear that.
But that was the one thing I noticed yesterday. And then I know the Giants have won a couple games, so it's been fun to say. But besides that, I do have a World Cup fact, unless you had anything you wanted to
No,
add
go for
before
it,
I
man.
get to that.
Hit me.
Okay, perfect. One sec, I literally just had it here. Hold on.
Yeah, no
Oh, sorry.
problem.
I literally just had it in my notes, but my phone's loading right now. You can say something real quick.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
I just want to caution people to be careful in the MLB today. I see a lot of close games, not a lot of advantages one way or the other. Some pitchers that I'm very curious to see how they do. Brian Wu, who's been off a little bit. Not really sure which version we're going to get of him facing Baltimore, somebody that I'm keeping my eye on. The real game, though, that I'm really curious about, and I don't have a bet in it, but Sean Manaea and the New York Mets versus Aaron Nola and the Philadelphia Phillies. Both of these pitchers could get hit hard. I was leaning to the first five over 4.5 runs. Couldn't get there, but I do find value in it. The other game, and I wish Prince was still here because I'm picking on a team that he picked yesterday and they failed miserably. But I do have a heavy lean on the over in the St. Louis Kansas City game. If you want to take like a first inning, yes, run first inning, or first three over or first five over. I really think that we're going to see at least 9 or 10 runs in this game overall. Both pitching staffs are exhausted. They pitched a lot. The Kansas City bullpen's atrocious. Kansas City hits a lot better at home. Cardinals hit a lot better on the road. There's a lot of things here that are lining up, including the weather, that kind of tells me that it's going to be a higher scoring game. Not an official pick, but I put $1 on it just to track. Drew, back with us. You ready for your fact of the day?
Yeah, I'm
Drew,
back.
yeah.
Yeah. So the one I have here, it is right here. So the nation that holds the record for most appearances, the World Cup final, not the World Cup final, is Germany with 8. They've appeared in the final in 1954, 66, 74, 82, 86, 90, 2002, and 2014. So they've gone to the final a lot, but have also lost a lot. So I thought that was interesting that it wasn't Brazil or Italy or England or somebody, but it's Germany.
Yeah, that is interesting. I did enjoy Germany. I think it was versus Argentina, if I'm not mistaken, in the last World Cup. Maybe it was
Yes.
2 World Cups ago. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I was a bartender manager at the time in downtown, and it was unbelievable to watch parties that came to watch those two play. Argentina, it's literally football is like religion for them. It's incredible. Um, got any question of the day, Drew? Before we recap our best bets and get on out of here.
No, I do not have a question. Did you have one that you had on your sheet? 'Cause I've been liking those questions too. I'll think of one tomorrow, though, for sure.
What's the funniest sports mascot you've ever seen?
Oh, that's a good one. Did you have one in mind already?
No, I just read the question. I'm thinking,
Oh yeah, that's actually
any.
that's I would say that's a really good question. Because it's not necessarily like the best, but it's like the funniest one you've seen. Like it could be like the weirdest, you know.
I mean, the
Um,
best one is the Philly Fanatic.
yes.
I
Oh
think,
yeah, I can't even
I think,
argue with that.
yeah, that's pretty. That's been pretty consistent. I I will say I've seen some weird ones. Like they had a female version of the Philly Fanatic at some point. I think it was like purple or something. That didn't go well. The Mets, the baseball, I think that's just terrible. I mean, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I have
So,
to think about it.
I actually have something pretty funny. So, um, this is like this kind of like a story of the mascot. You know how the A's is like a white is like an elephant, right?
Sure.
And a while ago, like you know, A's mascot's like an elephant. You should look it up. I forgot. I should know what the elephant's name is, but because I grew up in the Bay, but I looked it up a long time ago. Why it was that? So apparently, right, it's something along like this. Like the New York Giants manager, like is invented in 1902 at the time. Basically, he basically he was basically like insulting at a time it was the Philadelphia Athletics as a white elephant, right? And the current manager at that time, instead of like taking it as an insult, he used it as a signal and they made the A's mascot an elephant just to go along with it and basically, you know what? Like you're gonna make fun of my team, I'll go along with your joke just to spite him. He made the mascot a white elephant back in 1900s. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I always thought it was a
Uh,
weird mascot still. And then I remember I looked it up a while ago and I was like, oh, that's funny. So yeah.
all right. I really want to read this report that I just searched for. I just searched Google simply for weirdest mascots in baseball history. And here's the results that came back. First up, San Francisco Giants 1984. They had the crazy crab. Drew, do you know what this one is?
Yes, I know exactly. Like I
It's
wasn't alive during that time, of course, when they did have the crazy crab, because I was more so knowing for Lucille, but I've seen pictures. It's creepy.
it's an unblinking, googly-eyed crab that was supposed to be an anti-mascot. So instead of hyping up the fans got booed and pelted it with rocks. And it worked. Second one here, Charlie O for the Oakland Athletics, 1965 to 1976. Wow, this had a run. It was an active live mule, a real mule that they dressed up in an A's blanket. Number 3, Astrodillo, Houston Astros in the early 80s. This was an armadillo in a space-themed costume on roller skates with a cowboy hat. I've got to see these pictures. This is insane. If you guys are listening to the show, please just go search these up. This is incredible. Number 4 out of 5, and then I'll be done, and we can recap our best bets. Thank you for staying with us. The Bleacher Creature on the Atlanta Braves, 1977 to 1981. A fuzzy blue blob with oversized yellow feet, yellow teeth, and one giant eye in the center of the head. It emerged from the dugout hatch to taunt opposing teams and cheer on the Braves. The last one here, the baseball bug. Cleveland introduced in the early 1980s a terrifying multi-leg giant striped bug that looked like it belonged in a horror film. And it remains one of the most uniquely strange creations in the majors. The pictures that I'm looking at are unbelievable here. There's a whole another 5 of them here in this article. I highly recommend looking at it up. If anybody wants to come up and ask a question or give a take or an opinion or anything you want, feel free to request and we'll bring you on. Otherwise, Drew, any final thoughts on the day today?
No final thoughts. Enjoy sports day and hope we do well.
Yeah. Something to keep in mind here, especially for players like Scotty Scheffler, Alex Fitzpatrick, some other people that we had our eye on. The course today in the U.S. Open is playing really, really hard as expected. If you were listening to yesterday's show, might be worth a sprinkle. If you see someone that you really like, hits a bogey and goes up over par. Sometimes it's worth a sprinkle, especially on a top 20, top 30, or top 40, or even to make the cut parlay, or just a little, I think that there's some valuable spots here. Scotty Scheffler is the one that pops out to me. He is +1 through 4. I don't think that you're going to get a better price than you are right now. All right, Drew, recap us with your best bets.
Yeah, I have Gage jump under 15.5 outs at -115, and then Switzerland 3-way money line at -180.
Absolutely love it. Prince of Picks has Caitlin Clark parlayed 18 points, parlayed with Angel Reese, 10+ rebounds. I got this at -115. You can get this to -104 with the DK boost. In the MLB, he has the Blue Jays team total over 2.5 parlay with the White Sox team total over 2.5. Sorry. And then in World Cup, he has Brazil, Haiti over 3.5, and USA, Australia, both teams to score at +100. I am on the Yankees -1.5 at +140. This is gonna do it for us. The only Bet Sports podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. Really appreciate you all. Real quick, we have surpassed 10,000 downloads. Yesterday or 2 days ago, we surpassed 10,000 downloads, which is amazing considering that we've only started this podcast mid-February. Not only that, but we had our largest single day listening audience of over 210 people within 5 hours of the show being produced. So that's not including on the spaces. That's just after the spaces. I grabbed the URL and I published it on my Substack. We had 210 listeners just on that alone. So thank you guys for helping make the show getting bigger. And I think that we're about to jump off. And I really see good things in our future. I actually had somebody reach out to me about potentially advertising. So that's really cool. Never did that before. But anyway, that's going to do it for us. Thank you guys for listening. US Open, World Cup, baseball, day baseball. What else could you ask for? Maybe a little NFL. All right. Thank you guys so much. See you tomorrow.